This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is the 2025 VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft, right here on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Yeah, baby. Here we go. It is not Follow the Money today. You heard the man. It is the 2025 VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. I'm Mitch Moss. Paulie Howard is here, as always, in this time slot, along with 8 other VSiN hosts that you hear throughout the week right here on the network. We're going to go through this bad boy, our 10 best bets each in a snake draft style format. There are a bunch of rules that we're going to get to. We have 1 minute each to make the pick. Every bet is going to be a $100 bet. It is bet to risk, not bet to win, so keep that in mind. And Dustin Sweetelson is here. He's going to be moderating today's events. This is going to be a lot of fun. Good to see you, big guy. How are you?
I'm doing great. Some additional rules for today. Each contestant participating in the first ever VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft will take 2 win total overs in the NFL, 2 win totals under, 2 division winners, 2 player props, and 2 season-long stats. Just a note for everyone involved and listening at home. Once a team's win total on either under or over is taken, no one can then take an additional alternate under on that same team. So that's where we stand there. But alts are allowed because at the end of this, every $100 bet will be graded and based on not just win-loss record, but your return on investment. That's how we'll decide who ends up winning this thing. Let's meet the contestants, though, as everyone is together. I don't know if I've ever seen this in VSiN history where this Brady Bunch-looking Hollywood Squares type vibe is currently happening.
Hollywood Squares.
On the screen. And the draft order, for those of you, I'm Bruce Valanche then, I guess. Let's see, your draft order for today. We will begin in the leadoff spot with one Jonathan Von Tobel. He will be followed by Dave Ross, and then the other half of Money Moves, Stormy Bonantoni. And if JVT and Stormy are the trolls that I think they are, they will take every Dallas Cowboys future on the board. So Dave will have to go back and do more research on the fly. Batting cleanup is one Gil Alexander, followed by Tim Murray. And then the back half of the draft is led by Jensen Lewis, followed by Patrick Maher. Then Mitch, Matt Humans, and Paulie to my left. That is where we stand. And let's begin this thing right now, as officially on the clock is Jonathan Von Tobel, who has an opportunity here. I don't know what the strategy is going to be, but I do know there will be a reaction based on whatever he chooses here, because that's one less option for everyone else to go through when it comes to selecting their futures in this draft. JVT, you are at the podium, number 1 overall selection. How long ago did you decide on this pick?
Probably like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. I want the record to show that I do believe the first overall pick is actually the worst pick to have in this draft, because I believe my hands are tied. From a strategy standpoint, I think I'm forced to take a division winner future here, so I won't waste any more time. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC East. That'll be my first selection.
First pick in the first ever VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft by Jonathan Von Tobel is the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC East. And I have a weird feeling we are staying in the NFC East with our second pick here. Dave Ross, you are officially on the clock. What will be the number 2 overall selection today?
I don't know why you would say that, Dustin. I would just say I hope that everything you moderate is going to be fair today. So keep it fair, and let's go Mets as always, Dustin, in case I need more time later on in the draft. All right, I'm going to stay in the division, as you mentioned, but I'm going to go with let's go with a player prop. And I'm going to take Super Dak Prescott to lead the league in passing this year at plus 850. So I'm going to go a little bit down the beaten path here for a bigger payday, because look, if the Cowboys are really good, then he's going to throw for probably 4,500 yards. If the Cowboys are really bad and the running game doesn't look good, he's probably going to throw for 4,500 yards. He stays healthy for 17. We're in it to win it. Give me Dak at the big juicy price point here at plus 850.
All right,
Might be the worst pick of the draft.
First pick from Jonathan Von Tobel, Eagles to win the NFC East, defending champs. And by the way, we have not had a back-to-back winner in the NFC East since some of us were in high school. Stormy Bonantoni will be on the clock next after Dave Ross just took Dak Prescott to lead the NFL in passing yards at 8.5 to 1. And Stormy's a West Coast girl, so I'm curious, are we staying in the NFC East? Or are we going to branch out to other time zones with this pick, Stormy? You are officially on the clock.
West Coast, best coast, and I'm laughing already, not only by the fact that Dave Ross goes Dak just straight out the gate, guns a-blazing. But then before we came on the air, he said, Stormy, blink twice if you're going 49ers in the NFC West, and we're doing it. I'm sorry, plus 150, San Francisco to win the division. This is a team, last year that injuries obviously derailed their season. It was terrible, but they go from dealing with all of those issues to now the easiest schedule in the NFL and still a ton of talent around that roster. So I'm rolling with the San Francisco 49ers to win the NFC West, and I feel pretty good about it, especially with all the news that's come out with Matthew Stafford and the Rams. And I'm not as high on the Arizona Cardinals as a lot of people are. I don't think the Seattle Seahawks have much to offer. So easiest schedule in the league, talented roster. Let's do it, San Francisco.
All right, the 49ers to win the NFC West, and if they do that, they'll be the first team to ever win a division without any healthy wide receivers, it looks like. So right out of the gate, Eagles to win the East, number 1 overall. Dak Prescott to lead the league in passing, 49ers to win the West, which now brings us to the number 4 pick and Gil Alexander. Gil, you are officially on the clock.
I want to spend the first 10 seconds of my clock reminding Dave Ross that the object is to win this draft, not to have some side cowboy show that he apparently thinks it's about. Jensen, come get your boy. I am going to stay with a division winner as well. I'm going to go to the NFC South, and I'm going Atlanta Falcons plus 240 to win the NFC South. Super easy schedule. I imagine that pretty much consensus that it is somewhat neck and neck between them and the Buccaneers. I don't get the price of plus 240. I think if Penix, his flashes from last year are real, they are going to win this division, and Cousins torpedoed them left and right last year. So I think there's a lot of room for their record to improve. Atlanta Falcons plus 240, NFC South. Let's go.
All right, there is a trend already occurring. We work in betting. We try to monitor these things, and it does appear that the division winners are of the highest value to the contestants in the first ever VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. 4 picks in, 3 division winners already off the board. The question is, does that continue at pick number 5? Tim Murray, you are on the clock.
Believe it or not, the pick that Super Dave Ross made was actually my number 1 on the board. So yes! I had to alter a little bit here because I anticipate the Cowboys to have to throw because their running backs are garbage and they'll probably be losing a lot. But I'll pivot here to the number 2 selection on my big board. And as you mentioned, Dustin, we've got a little bit of a trend. So I'm going to go to the AFC South, and I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars to win the AFC South at 3-1. I'm not going to do the stupid Duval thing that Liam Cohen did so awkwardly. But, hey, when you've got a kicker who can hit it from 70 yards, that's all I need to see. So give me the Jaguars 3-1 to win the AFC South.
Interesting note, the first 2 division winners were the favorites in their divisions, the Eagles and the Niners. The next 2 were the second shots, value plays on the board by the next 2 pickers here. And now we go to the back half of the first round of the VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Jensen Lewis, are you going to continue this division winner trend here? You're on the clock.
Guys, great to be with you and all our great colleagues here at the network. A lot of anticipation, a lot of speculation, as people thought I would be going right to that Saints under. But actually, the top win total on my big board remains in New York. My first selection will be the Giants under 5.5 on the win total. I do think we're going to get some chaos in the divisions this year, so like to see that top pick of the big board remains there. So Giants under 5.5, my first selection.
All right, that is the first win total selected thus far through 6 picks. We have 4 division winners, 1 player prop, and 1 team total on the under. No one else, for the record, can select Giants under. Now, you could take a Giants over, and as a Giants fan, I would not suggest that. All right, Patrick Maher, pick number 7. You are officially on the clock.
All right, thanks, big guy. I, like Tim, will go to the South, but I will go Houston, 3 straight, probably underperformed last year, bad injury luck, but they are obviously the best in division. I'm going to go Houston Texans plus 105.
All right, Patrick goes with the Houston Texans to win the South there with the number 7 overall selection. Favorite in that division. Jaguars go 2 picks earlier with Tim Murray. So if you want to go South, unfortunately, you are looking at some bottom feeders with a quarterback quarterback problem in Indianapolis specifically. So Mitch Moss, as you see the division winners go off the board, you are now up with the 8th overall selection here.
I appreciate the strategy. It's one I considered. When you think about this, we all have to make 2 division picks. There are 10 of us. That means that there are going to be 20 picks to win a division. There are only 8 divisions. So that means automatically 12 losers at least will be selected. But I'm gonna go a different direction here and go with an alternate win total. Again, it's bet to risk, not bet to win, meaning every bet's $100. And as a reminder, we've talked about this a lot on Follow the Money. Adam Burke with a great write-up in the Pro Football Betting Guide and also VSiN.com. Last year, 25 teams finished plus or minus 1.5 wins with their closing win total. 25 teams. The year before that, 21. It was 24 in 2022, 23 the year before that, and 25 during the pandemic. That's 78% of the entire league. So I'm going to go with an alternate win total, and I'm looking at the Chicago Bears under 7.5 at plus 145 is the number.
Ooh, and our first alternate win total under 7.5 on the Bears, selected by Mitch Moss. A rundown. The first 8 picks are in the books here in the VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Jonathan Von Tobel went Eagles to win the East, minus 135. Dave Ross in the 2 spot took Dak to lead the league in passing, 8.5 to 1. Stormy chose the Niners to win the NFC West, followed by Gill and the Falcons to win the NFC South. Tim Murray selected the Jags to win the AFC South at 3 to 1. Jensen Lewis, Giants under 5.5. Patrick Maher, Texans to win the AFC South at plus 105. And Mitch just took the Bears under 7.5. We will close out the first round of the first ever VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Matt Humans will be on the clock when we return.
Got a good thing coming, just wait and see. It's a good.
Money Moves, we continue to march through the NFL preseason. Chris Vaselli from Covers.com is going to join us to dive into the NFL futures market. How much have the division favorites moved? We'll analyze the odds movement in the NFC division winner market as well. And Chris is also going to help us break down the MLB card. It's all happening starting at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
All of a sudden it's getting down to the wire. What shouldn't happen is now happening. We promised you carnage. This whole contest is flipped upside down.
I'm sweating out these games, and it's the only thing on my mind right now.
I think I've thrown up 3 times in the last 10 minutes. I couldn't do this again. We may have to find a few more survivors here, or this documentary is not going to last much longer.
All of a sudden, things got smoother. Yes! You got all the way to the final week with 18 circus survivors going into week 18.
Every game is up for grabs.
We're going to go the distance.
It's over. Blue Jackets, big checks. You want me to be like Happy Gilmore and take the big check and put it in my car?
This year has been so unpredictable, we just never know.
New episodes nightly at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN. tuned in to the 2025 VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft.
Back here for the first ever VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. I'm Dustin Sweetelson, live from Circa in downtown Las Vegas. Mitch and Paulie alongside me, and then scattered all across the nation. God bless the United States of America. We've got our entire crew from VSiN here involved in the first ever Pro Football Futures Draft on the network. When we left you last segment, we were on the number 9 pick, Matt Humans. I'll keep you updated on where we got to, how we got to this point, as JVT started with the Eagles to win the East with the first overall selection. Dave Ross took Dak Prescott to lead the NFL in passing yards, followed by Stormy Bonantoni selecting the Niners to win the NFC West. Then Gil Alexander took Atlanta in the NFC South. Tim Murray grabbed the Jaguars to win the AFC South, and then Jensen Lewis went under 5.5 wins on the New York Giants. Number 7 spot, Patrick Maher selected the Texans to win the AFC South, and when we left off, Mitch Moss had made the 8th pick, the Bears, under 7.5 wins. Matt Humans, you've had a lot of time to think about your pick, and now you know which sportsbook we're using for this contest. What is your selection going to be as you're on the clock?
Yeah, I had this pick ready to go last night, so this will be fast. I'm going to see Dave Ross's Dak Prescott. I'm going to raise him, Joe Burrow. Most passing yards, Burrow, a plus 500 at DraftKings. Led the league in passing yards last year. Bengals got a bad defense. I think he's probably going to threaten 5,000 passing yards again. So give me 5-1 odds on Joe Burrow.
All right, Joe Burrow, our second pass yard leader prop selected thus far. And now we're going to go Paulie Howard on the turn for 2. He can be on the clock for both of them. And he is the only man with a worse back than Matthew Stafford right now competing in this contest. Paulie, number 10 overall. What are we going to do with your first pick?
Very good. I got that written down as well. Good pick from Humans. I have to go pick number 1.
Can't hear Paul.
Come to my mic. Come to my mic.
Tampa Bay to win the South. $1.10. That'll be pick number 1 with Tampa Bay, and pick number 2. I think it's going to be popular. I'm not going to be on the. I'm not going to pick for a while. I will go Saints under 5.5 wins. Pick number 2.
Ooh, all right. No one tell HR. I essentially just got a lap dance from Paul Howard in the middle of this contest. Okay. All right. We are officially in round number 2. As Paulie Howard on the turn goes Bucks to win the South plus $1.10, Saints under 5.5 wins. Matt Humans, you are back on the clock with your second overall selection. Earlier in the segment, you took Joe Burrow to lead the NFL in passing yards. What's the strategy now?
All right, so I assume we're going to use the best price either at DraftKings or Circa Sportsbooks, right? Because nobody ever bets at just one book. Correct?
No, we're using DraftKings, as stated in the rules that were emailed to you multiple times.
Okay. Well, I tell you, Circa's got a much better price on this.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, but we're doing DraftKings, so.
Yeah. Hosted from the Circa Sportsbook, by the way. Circa plus 350 on this, DraftKings plus 275, so I'll take the worst price. Denver Broncos to win the AFC West. The Chiefs' 9-year run atop this division is going to end. Broncos got arguably the number 1 defense in the NFL, probably number 2 offensive line. I'm going with the Broncos to win the division.
You know what? It didn't matter which book you got that in. It's not winning anyway, Matt. We'll move on. Mitch Moss is up next here with the next selection, second round. Your first pick, you went Bears under 7.5 wins plus 145. Pick number 2, you're officially on the clock here.
All right. Matt took one of mine as well. I've already crossed off like 7 bets that people have taken, so that's pretty strong, I think. Broncos, one of my favorite division wins on the year, but can't take that one, obviously. So I'm going to go back and take another win total. Gil took them to win the division. I'm there with him. I was high on the Falcons last year. They started 6-3, and Kirk Cousins couldn't move. I think it's a clear upgrade with Michael Penix, although he's got to stop fighting people in the preseason. It's the alt total on Atlanta, 4th easiest schedule entering the season. So I'm going to go over 8.5, and that number is plus 125 on the Falcons alt win total.
Oh, alt win total from the Atlanta Falcons, over 8.5 for Mitch Moss. He went under 7.5 on the Bears. So he's got an over and an under off the board to begin things, which now brings us to Patrick Maher. Patrick, first pick went Texans to win the AFC South plus 105. What's the move here?
Yeah, I'll go back division. Big guy fade Stormy. I will take the Rams plus 195, close to $2. I think Stafford's going to be fine. I think the 49ers are a house of cards. Murray stinks. Seattle, whatever. Give me the Rams close to $2, plus 195.
All right, Patrick, with two division winners, one a favorite in the Texans, the other one the Rams, the second shot on the board in the West. So those division winners starting to really fly. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the first round. And now we have 2 here going off the board in the second round. Jensen Lewis, you getting itchy for a division winner, or are you going to go in another direction here with your next pick?
Yeah, I feel fortunate that they're still there, and I know it's the heaviest price on the board, but unless Josh Allen has issues at some point this year, I'll feel pretty good. I'll take the Bills to win the AFC East for my first division future.
We have the first official wood layer in this contest. Jensen laying the heavy wood with the Bills to win the AFC East, so that is yet another division winner off the board. Let's see. One favorite in the Bills. The Bucs are a favorite. The Texans are a favorite. And the 49ers and Eagles, what's that? 5 division winner favorites have been selected thus far. As Tim Murray, your second selection, you're about to be on the clock. First pick, you took the Jaguars to win the AFC South. What are you doing here at pick number 16 overall?
I'm going to ride similarly to with my partner in crime on primetime. He took Joe Burrow to lead the NFL in passing yards. I'm going to take his number 1 target, Jamar Chase, to lead the NFL in receiving yards. 6-1 is the price. Led the league in receiving a year ago, was about 150 clear of Justin Jefferson. We'll see what J.J. McCarthy's all about up there in Minnesota. But once again, Matt said it. Their defense stinks. I don't know if they'll be any better defensively, even though they got Al Golden as their D coordinator. But Jamar Chase to lead the league in receiving 6-1.
All right, that is our very first pick to lead the NFL in receiving yards. Jamar Chase going to Tim Murray, second round, 16th overall. And now Gil Alexander will make the next selection. Gil in the first round grabbed the Falcons to win the NFC South at plus 240. What are you doing here in round number 2?
Y'all are good at this. Humans with Burrow, most passing yards was the first one that got me. And then Tim just now with Jamar Chase. So I'm going to have to ad-lib, and I'm going to go Jamar Chase, most regular season receiving touchdowns at 6-1.
Ooh.
Figuring he led the league in touchdowns last year by about 4. I think he had 17, and I think the great Terry McLaurin had 13. I will go 6-1 on Jamar Chase to go back-to-back most receiving touchdowns, 6-1 at DraftKings.
Look at that. Round number 2, a run on Jamar Chase props here to lead the league in receptions to Tim Murray at 6-1. And then Gil backs it up with to lead the league in receiving touchdowns at 6-1. All right, now we're going back to Stormy Bonantoni here. Number 18 overall for Stormy. First round took the Niners, her favorite team, to win the NFC West at plus 150. What's the play here with your second pick?
I do just want to say real quickly that I think we're all feeling a pretty equal level of disdain and envy that humans got Joe Burrow for the most pass yards, especially with how bad that defense is going to be, dude. He's just going to be throwing. And also, we can't get mad at humans for challenging the rules of the sports book when we still don't even know what we're all winning with said draft. So there are still some questions out in the air here today. That said, I'm going divisions again, and I'm going chalk again, so don't be so annoyed by me. But the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs are available here to win another division title at what's a relatively short minus price at minus 120 for them, I'm going to roll with them to just do what they have always done, even every season that they've been talked about having a potential decline. They've still gone on to win the AFC West, and I'm not as high on the Broncos as a lot of other people are. Chargers dealing with some issues, so let's go Kansas City to get it done again.
And Stormy going with a couple favorites to win the prize that she doesn't know what it is yet to win this contest. So Chiefs to win the AFC West, minus $1.20.
Can you get some answers for us, Dustin? We need answers.
I don't win anything, so I don't care. I'm just here so I don't get fined. All right, our next pick, Dave Ross is officially on the clock. The question is, which Cowboys bet is it going to be? So Dave Ross, pick number 19. After taking Dak to lead the league in passing yards, what is the move here? Pick number 19 in the second round.
I did have a formula where I could make every pick a Cowboy, but I'm not going to do that. And kind of like Matt Humans, you're going to be surprised, Matt. I found a better number at DraftKings than I did at Circa for another league leader. I'm shooting again. We're going to go for the stars here. Bijan Robinson. If Gil is right and the Falcons win this division, he's going to lead the league in rushing. 11-1 for Bijan. He's going to bust through this year, I think, in a big, big way. That defense is terrible down there in the ATL as well. It's going to be all offense all the time. Bijan, 11-1 to lead the league in rushing. So give me Dak to lead the league in passing or Bijan in rushing. I'm going to get ahead of you guys with a big number at 11-1.
A bunch of more division winners off the board in the second round. 1, 2, 3, 4. However, 3 more stat leaders went in round number 2, and we are not done with the second round. Jonathan Von Tobel will make the final pick in the second round, and then he will kick off round number 3. When we return, which one of your favorite VSiN hosts is going to win that prize that we have yet to determine what it is? Tune in to find out as the VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft rolls on.
This season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days. Or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
You're tuned in to the 2025 VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft.
Back at it with the first ever VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. I'm Dustin Sweetelson, hanging out at the Circus Sportsbook with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard. The rest of our contestants, part of this contest, all available on the video screen. You can see YouTube TV, the VSiN Watch app, and we're actually streaming right now at VSiN Live on Twitter if you want to get a good look at a weird Brady Bunch potential opportunity here to make fun of this group. I don't know which one's Marsha. I think that's Jensen Lewis. Okay. Where we left off, we were at the very end of the second round. Dave Ross had just selected Bijan Robinson to lead the NFL in rushing yards, and Jonathan Von Tobel is now up at the turn with the final pick of the second round. JVT, you went number 1 overall, the Eagles to win the NFC East. What's the game plan here at the end of round number 2?
Might as well continue the run on season stat leaders here. Give me Derrick Henry at 4-1 to lead the league in rushing yards. I think that Saquon Barkley is going to take a step back after career year. Henry's been very consistent. I think the Ravens are the best team in this NFL, and I think he's going to have another big year. I'll take 4-1 on that. All
right. The favorite on the board and a guy who's in the conversation every year to do that, so it makes a lot of sense there. As we are now complete, we are through 2 rounds here in the first ever VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Let's get a gauge on where we stand. Jensen Lewis, your first 2 selections, you took the Giants under 5.5 wins. You took the Bills to win the AFC East at minus 310, the first big heavy lay of the day. How do you feel about where you sit right now?
I feel comfortable. The fact that Ryan Kramer already instantaneously does not like it means that I'm feeling pretty good. JVT with instant reaction there too, so we're sitting pretty. I have yet to go to where I thought a lot of people thought I might go, and that's why I wore my brown sweatshirt today. I have yet to get in there, but trust me, plenty of time left. So excited to hammer home on, as Paulie Howard would say, the gong show that is here in Cleveland, Ohio.
I look forward to your selection of the Browns to win the AFC North. You're going to get a great number. I'll tell you that. All right, let's begin round number 3. Jonathan Von Tobel, you are back on the clock. What are we doing here, my friend?
All right, I'll get my first win total out of the way. We'll go to the AFC East for this one. I haven't heard much thought around our network about this team other than myself, but I think this is going to be a team that is going to have a secondary in contention with some of the worst in the National Football League. I don't think they're going to be good on that end of the floor or to be at that side of the field at all. And I think their offense might fall apart when their quarterback, oft injured, might get injured again. Give me an alternate win total under 6.5 plus 170 on the Miami Dolphins for my first win total.
All right. He is not in Tuanon. He is not a Tua guy. JVT now has on his selections as the number 1 overall picker. Eagles to win the East at minus $1.35. Derrick Henry to lead the NFL in rushing. Was it touchdowns or yards? I thought it was touchdowns, right?
Rushing yards, please do not. Come on, you're already starting here.
4-1.
We're not going to start
Just confirming, and Dolphins under 6.5 wins, plus 170. We are now back to the number 2 overall selector, Dave Ross, who went Dak Prescott to lead the NFL in passing yards and followed that up with Bijan Robinson to lead the NFL in rush yards. So now it's pick number 3, Dave. You're on the clock.
Dustin, you're showing your age, or maybe I'll be showing mine a little bit. In the Brady Bunch, I would be Marsha, I believe, upper left, which would make Tim the dad. That'd be Mike Brady. JVT would be Greg, and Matt Humans would be Cindy. I'm just throwing it out there if you know your Brady Bunch. Matt would be Cindy, so just think of that. All right, I'm going to go with an adjusted win total of America's team. We're going back to the well here. Cowboys over 8.5 at plus $1.20. I really like this pick a lot. JVT's already falling out of this frame. Give me the Cowboys. 8.5 wins. This is a 9 or 10 win football team, people. Under Big Mike, 12, 12, 12, 12. We won't count last year. They're winning at least 9. Give me the plus money in the Cowboys.
All right, some offshore markets did have a prop on how many Cowboys bets out of the 10 Dave Ross would select. The number was at 8.5, and I think right now we are trending towards that over. All right, now we're going third pick in the third round. Stormy Bonantoni is on the clock. First pick, she went Niners to win the West at plus 150. The Chiefs to win the AFC West at minus $1.20, and now you are officially on the clock for your third selection, Stormy.
I just love that Dave says it with the jersey on and everything. He's ready to go. I'm also a little disappointed because JVT, I was definitely going to try to play some gamesmanship and take the Dolphins all under away from you. So the fact that you got in there beforehand, all right. I'm actually going to your team, JVT, though. Jonathan Taylor to lead the league in rushing yards 10-1. Obviously, health is going to play a large factor in this one, but considering offensively, you've got questions at quarterback with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Take pressure off those guys with the run game. He was 4th in the NFL last year in rush yards despite missing a handful of games. The one full season he did play in 2021 led the league then. Nobody in that running back room is going to take carries away from him. So stay healthy, JT, and cash me at 10-1.
All right, Jonathan Taylor lead the NFL in rushing yards 10-1 off the board from Stormy there. Quick note as we tally things up thus far in the third round, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 division winners off the board. I see 4 win total unders off the board. I see 2 overs off the board. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stat leaders. We've yet to have a player prop selected, and there are a lot of options there, so maybe that's part of the strategy for everyone. Just wanted to note that here. As we're at pick number 24 overall, Gil Alexander about to be on the clock after going Falcons to win the South plus 240, and Jamar Chase to lead the NFL in receiving touchdowns at 6-1. Gil, what is your pick here in round number 3?
Dustin used 5 seconds of my clock, first of all. I appreciate that.
It's a fair complaint.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that I don't love this pick, but I do want to stick to the thinking that I should grab 2 division winners early because those are the most scarce. And so Stormy grabbed Kansas City Chiefs. That was very rude of her. I was thinking about doing that. So I'm going to go before it gets farcical with teams to pick to win division. That'll be all that's left. I'm going to go NFC North, and I'm going to go Detroit Lions plus 160 at DraftKings. Yes, it's a tough schedule, but they have a significant rest advantage in that tough schedule. So Lions plus 160 to win the NFC North.
No coordinators back, no problem for Gil Alexander. Lions win the North plus 160 here in the third round. Tim Murray, 25th overall selection. You are officially on the clock.
I was thinking about doing similar to what Gil just did, picking another division winner. But I'm going to go with my first win total, and I'm going to go under in the AFC North. I picked Jamar Chase to lead the league in receiving yards. I actually think this is a little correlated. I still think that defense, despite a new coordinator, is going to be awful this year. Joe Burrow is going to be great. Jamar Chase is going to be great. Defense is going to stink. Under 9.5 wins, even money at DraftKings for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals under 9.5 wins, even money for Tim Murray here in the third round, which brings us to another guy in the state of Ohio, from Cincinnati to Cleveland, Jensen Lewis, third round pick. You are up.
We have grown to really hate this team because it was stolen from us, and we should have had a Super Bowl drought ended many years ago. However, I will stay with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. If not this year, when? So I will take the Ravens to win the AFC North.
All right. Ravens winning the North goes to Jensen Lewis at 26 overall here in the third round. And now it is Patrick Maher on the clock here.
Yeah, big guy, I want to get the divisions and win totals out of the way. I went Houston in the South. I love them in a bad division. I'll go alt win total on the Texans. 10.5 plus 180. I'll go over.
Ooh, an over win total for the Houston Texans there for one Mr. Maher in the third round. Now, Mitch Moss, you are on the clock officially in the third round.
Okay. All right. I think I can wait a little bit longer to start checking off some of the player props that I want. So I'll go with my first division winner. Thanks for taking Baltimore off the clock. That was a fun one. They were going to be my pick. Now it looks like only plus money remaining, if I have that right, of the 8 divisions in the league. So you know what? I'm taking a swing here. I was all in on the Rams going back to like February and March. The Matthew Stafford injury absolutely concerns the daylights out of me. You got to be concerned about the 49ers receiver room at minimum. I'm not super high on that team. I do think Jonathan Gannon is a good coach. I loved what the Arizona Cardinals did in the draft. I think they have the pieces overall. I think Marvin Harrison has a really, really good second year. I'll take the Cardinals plus 425 to win the NFC West.
All right, Mitch Moss with the Cardinals to win the West plus 425. And just like that, the Niners off the board, the Cardinals are off the board in the West, and the Rams are off the board in the West. Does anyone dare take the Seahawks? I think someone might actually have to here, as we are about to wrap up the third round of the VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Thus far in the third round, JVT took the Dolphins under 6.5 wins. Dave Ross went Cowboys over 8.5. Stormy Bonantoni went Jonathan Taylor to lead the league in rushing. Gil Alexander took the Lions to win the North. Tim Murray went under 9.5 wins on the Bengals. Jensen Lewis grabbed the Ravens, winning the AFC North. Patrick Maher has the Texans over 10.5. And Mitch just selected Arizona to win the West at plus 425. Matt Humans is coming up next here with his pick in the third round. Which direction does he go? And the fourth round will come up in the next segment. I'm Dustin Sweetelson. Return for the Pro Football Futures Draft here on VSiN.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim is the only thing like it in the world.
Get ready for the ultimate futures showdown. It's the 2025 VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Our live coverage begins on Wednesday, August 13th at 4 p.m. Eastern. 10 of VSiN's sharpest minds in sports betting go head-to-head, drafting their favorite NFL future picks for the season. Which VSiN host will land the season's smartest bets? Find out during the 2025 VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Only on VSiN, the sports betting network. into the 2025 VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft.
Rolling on with the first ever VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Dustin Sweetelson here at Circa with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard. The rest of the draftees with us virtually here on the board. Go check it out at Twitter at VSiN Live, at YouTube TV, and the VSiN Watch app. Where we left off, back end of the third round. Mitch Moss had just selected the Cardinals to win the NFC West. We have Matt Humans coming up next, followed by Paulie Howard on the turn to end round number 3 and begin the fourth round here. Matt Humans, you are officially on the clock for your third selection.
All right, 10 teams won 5 games or fewer in the NFL last season. I got to think the Cleveland Browns are going to be in that group this year. Let's go Browns under 5.5.
Love it. Love it. Matt Humans with a Browns play.
I heard they were offering plus 300 on that at Circuit, Matt. Sorry about
that. All right, now we're going to close up the third round. Paulie Howard on the turn for 2 selections here to finish things off. Still yet to have a player prop selected. Still waiting for that one. Paulie, what's the move here?
I went too early with the Saints. I could have gone Baltimore there or Kansas City, so got to have another division winner. And I'm gonna go Green Bay plus 250.
Green Bay in
the
North.
division
Plus 250, and your next pick to begin the fourth round?
I'm gonna think it's correlated. The schedule's brutal. Lose both coordinators. At Baltimore, at Kansas City, at Washington, at Philly, at the Rams, at the Vikings, at the Bears to close. Cold weather. Give me the Lions under 10.5 minus 130.
Oh, Lions under. So if you're right about both of those things, those are 2 big hits for Paulie Howard there. There's the strategy correlating the picks. We now go back to Matt Humans, who currently sitting on Burrow to lead the NFL in passing yards at 5-1. Broncos to win the AFC West at plus 275, and the Browns under 5.5 wins. What is the play here in the fourth round, Mr. Humans?
Yeah, I'm not concerned that Dustin and Stormy don't like the Broncos. I'm going to stick with the Broncos here over 9.5. I do think this team's going to win the division, and I love the win total over.
Boom. Efficient. Matt Humans believing in Bo Nix and Sean Payton another year together and that great defense, which now brings us to the 4th pick in the third round, I believe, or 3rd pick in the third round. Mitch Moss, you are on the clock.
All right. Could be reaching here a little early, but I do think that this kid is super popular here on the network. We're going to go and look at Bucky Irving in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers backfield. But here's what I'm going to do. There's a tab on the DraftKings website called Milestones, right? And they break it down like, will this player reach 1,000 yards rushing, 1,250, 1,500, whatever. I'm going to go Bucky Irving, 1,250 plus rushing yards at plus 275. Keep in mind that this guy was splitting for the entire first half of the season with Rachaad White last year, then completely took over, and he was the main back down the stretch, including their playoff game. White's already banged up. I like Sean Tucker, who's going to replace White as the backup. But Bucky Irving was elite. I mean, we're talking about Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry good at avoiding tackles, and also he was the best running back after contact, and he had the highest percentage of 30-yard runs last year in the entire league. I think he has a huge season this year for Tampa.
3rd pick in the 4th round. Mitch Moss goes Bucky Irving over 1,250 rush yards, just because I listen to the network all day. Raise your hand if you're high on Bucky Irving this year, because I am, and I feel like every other person on this draft is. So it's always a dangerous proposition. All right, next pick, 4th round. Patrick Maher, you are up.
Wow, the host is getting loose here with his editorializing. You heard Matt Humans talking about the Browns and the dreadful teams last year. I've got Houston to win the South so far, the Rams to win the West. Alt on Houston over 10.5. I'll go under 4.5 on the Saints. They're dreadful. That's plus 125. Under 4.5 Saints.
Did we? No, we can't do that because the Saints were already selected on an under. You would have to go over, or you have to find another one.
Am I the first to do that? I'm the first to do that. I'll fade Vrabel.
25 seconds.
All right, take it easy, Stormy. Take it easy. Everybody just settle down. We're going to get through this together. All right, I'll fade Vrabel and the Patriot love. I'll go under 7.5, alt plus 150.
Boom.
Like it.
Boom. Yeah. Patriots under 7.5 for Patrick there in the 4th round, which brings us to Jensen Lewis. You are on the clock.
One of the better running backs overall, and I agree with Mitch that Bucky Irving going to have a really good year. Let me go to the Motor City, and a guy is about as electric as it gets. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs over 1,075.5 rush yards for a season player prop.
Ooh, there we go. 2 player props finally off the board in the 4th round. Is this a run currently happening in the VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft? Does it continue? Find out next with Tim Murray, who is on the clock in the 4th round.
I was going to go with either Packers or Vikings to win this division, and Paulie made that decision for me. So 3-1, the Minnesota Vikings. That Lions schedule is absolutely brutal. Lions under was also on my list that Paulie scooped up. So I will go with Vikings 3-1 to win the NFC North. In JJ, we trust.
All right. New quarterback in Minnesota. Tim gets the Vikings to win the North at 3-1, which now brings us in the 4th round to Gil Alexander's next selection.
I would like to go with a player that I refer to as Joe Burrow. I'm not sure if many of you have heard of him before. I know Tim Murray and Matt Humans have. But I want some Burrow exposure. They took the sexy ones. I'm just going to go with Burrow over 4,150.5 regular season passing yards.
All right, another player prop off the board here in the 4th round. We are continuing the run here, and that brings us now to Stormy Bond and Tony, 4th round selection. What is the play?
I'm going to a season win total. I like the Carolina Panthers over 6.5, -130. Bryce Young and crew showed real tangible progress at the end of the year. You looked at the game against Kansas City, against the Bucks, against the Eagles, they should have and could have easily won those games, didn't, but then did win 2 of 3 to end the season. Bryce Young, 7 touchdowns, no picks those last 3 games. Picking up where he left off. I really like the addition they made in the draft in Tetero and McMillan. As long as the defense isn't total garbage like they were last year, and they should be better. Schedule's easy. I think they get 7+ wins.
All right. Stormy takes the Panthers over 6.5 wins, guided by my favorite author, Dave Canales. Look it up in the break, the book that he wrote. Fascinating story. Next pick, Dave Ross on the clock. The only question is the offshore markets have yes, no, will this be a CeeDee Lamb prop from Dave Ross? Dave, what is the pick here in the 4th round?
Well, also check your books, Dustin, because I think Jeffrey Benson had posted a number. First one to repeat a pick. I was -$2. Patrick Maher, big plus money cashes for that one, so I'm off the hook there. I'm going to go for my first player prop selection here, and it is going to be a wide receiver, Dustin, but I'm going to go with Malik Neighbors. I know this team might be terrible, but that is a superstar in the making, putting up numbers with bad quarterbacks. Now we think he's got a better quarterback in core, at least with Russell Wilson to start at 1150 and a hook. Give me that over on Malik Neighbors, the one guy on that team that actually scares me as a Cowboy back.
All right, Dave Ross goes with the Giants' top target in Neighbors and his prop on the season, which now brings us to the end of the 4th round. And Jonathan Von Tobel on the turn here to begin round number 5. What is your first play here, JVT?
If I could ask our illustrious host, who totally knows the rules back and forth, player props do not include awards, correct?
Do not include awards.
Okay.
Here already. I'll give you player props: passing touchdowns, passing yards, rushing touchdowns, rushing yards, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns.
Okay, I didn't need all that. I just needed to answer my first question. Thank you.
It was to answer the other questions that were coming down the road. Will you pick already so we can finish the round?
For the final pick of this round, I will go with a player prop that I think this is pretty solid, actually. Give me another pass catcher. Give me Brock Bowers over 1,000.5 yards at -120.
All right.
I think that's a really fair price for a guy who had 1,100 yards last year with absolute dog crap at quarterback. Geno Smith's a massive upgrade. Their secondary is going to suck. I think they're going to be trying to throw their way back into a lot of these games, and I think Bowers is going to be the beneficiary of it. So let's go Bowers again over 1,000.5 receiving yards -120.
All right, I'm going to put you. Should I put you back on the clock, or do you need time to think about your next pick? I'm going to be nice here as a moderator.
It's whatever you want, man. I'm ready to go if you want me to fire.
You know what? I'm told I have to do a read. Sorry. We have to pay the bills. Get the G-Bank Visa signature card today, built with the sports bettors in mind. While most credit cards treat sportsbook and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when you're using your own money, G-Bank treats them as regular purchases. That means no cash advance fees, saving you up to 3 to 5% on every deposit. Plus, you'll earn 1% cash back on all eligible sportsbook and gaming transactions and 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now at VSiN.com/GBank. That's VSiN.com/GBank. This is the VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. We have completed 4 rounds of drafting, but don't go anywhere. Plenty more to come. The 5th round coming your way in the next segment as Jonathan Von Tobel will be on the clock once again. Which direction does he go? He just took Brock Bowers. We had a run of player props. Will that continue? Tune in to find